Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Camco Tornado Rotary Tank Rinser. So this is a device you permanently install in your RV black tank, and what it does is it spins around and sprays water in your black tank to help flush it out. So this is what many people refer to as a black tank flush, and some RVs come with black tank flushes, mine did not, so I want to install this one. So here's a little graphic on the side. It says multi-directional rotating spray head with internal backflow protection. Mounts under the side, no need to drill a hole in the exterior of your RV. Has a remote flusher connection with cap and lanyard. So here's another graphic here. We have the black tank, we have the toilet here, we have the drain on this side, and on the opposite end you put the Tornado, and then we have the remote flush connection which you can put next to your drain. So to install this I'm going to use a couple other things here. I have some silicone caulk. This is 100% silicone as denoted here. Then I also have this 1 3/4 inch hole saw. So I'll be using this to drill the 1 3/4 inch hole for this device. I think you also need an 1/8 inch drill bit, which I already have, and I'll be using some other tools I already have like drills and such. So let's get this open. So probably one of the most dangerous parts of this is opening this clamshell packaging. So here's a template you cut out, and here are the instructions. So I'll kind of scroll past these in case you lost your instructions. You can pause here and you can read these. So this comes with this adapter here in case your tank is angled. You can place this here, if I can get this over here. Like so, if you have an angled tank. And here's the flusher. It has a screen here to keep sediment out of it. And when the water pressure goes in here, it shoots out of these two areas and spins this and cleans your tank. This here, I'm guessing this is a vacuum breaker. Let's see. Yes, this is a vacuum breaker. So you want to hook this up on your water supply. That way if the water pressure reverses, it doesn't suck things out of your black tank into your hose. And here's the remote hose attachment. You can see it has a little cap here. It has clear plastic tubing here. And then it has a bracket so you can screw this to a remote part of your camper like on the edge. This also came with some screws and a hose clamp. And they do look like stainless screws. I'm not 100% sure, but they do look stainless. So I'm going to read through the instructions. Then I'm going to head out to my camper and get this installed. So I will insert a video clip of this hooked up to a hose so you can see what it looks like with water running through it and then it's spinning. Okay, so I'm under my camper now, and I don't think I mentioned this is a 2021 KZ Escape 17 hatch. And here we have the black tank, and the outlet is on this side. You can see the pipe coming out here. So this is long, and the outlet is in the middle. So I'm going to be putting the flush on this side here. So I'm not going to be doing this exactly like the instructions, and I'm not doing this as a tutorial, I'm just sharing my experience. So definitely read the instructions and use your own judgment in how you install this on your system. So it did say to clean the surface after you drill the holes, but I see no reason to wait. I'm going to clean it now. There's a lot of dust on here. So I'll just be using some rubbing alcohol on a paper towel. Now I have this rib here on the bottom that I'll line it up with because that represents the center point. So I do want to say I ran into a problem with the hole saw. You can see this arbor is very long. So I found a different arbor that fit this hole saw. And one thing to consider is make sure that you have access for a drill where you're going to be drilling this hole with your hole saw. Like this, there's a piece of metal here. I don't know if it's in frame. That would be in the way of drilling this. So check that out before you drill your original holes. So you don't drill those holes and then realize you can't drill your hole saw hole. So the instructions said to put this 2 inches down, but that would put this around here, which is on this curve. So I'm really just going to center this on this flat area. That's the best I can do. I'm also not going to tape this on here. I'm going to try not to tape it on here. I'll make sure it's mostly straight. I need to actually move it over a little, not like that. I'll make sure it's straight. And then I just have this little awl here I'm going to press through to make marks in the plastic. So hopefully this will work. I'm pressing pretty hard here. Okay, looks like I have my little marks. Needless to say, you want to make sure you don't move the template. So I'll put this in here again and I'll press a little bit more. That is actually pretty tough stuff. So it's very difficult to see those, but I can see them. So I'm going to drill those out with an 1/8 inch drill bit. Okay, so I have the 4 holes drilled. I don't know if I mentioned, but I've never used this black tank yet, so it's clean inside. Now I've installed the hole, so I'll drill the middle out for the hole. Okay, I've got the hole drilled. Okay, so now I need to determine if I want to use this spacer, this wedge here. And if I put a ruler up here, I can see that it's angled a little bit. But if I put the wedge on here, I can see it's angled a lot. So in my case, I don't want to use that wedge. So here we have the Tornado. I can stick that in there, see if it fits. Looks nice. So now I want to caulk around the perimeter of this and around each screw hole. And I'll actually put some in each screw hole also. Okay, so now this is an important part, is I'm going to put this in here and I don't want to get caulk inside of these parts here. So it's a little tricky here because there's a lot of caulk around here. And if I get it on, it's better on the outside than on the inside of those holes. Okay, I think I have that lined up, but it's hard to tell until I get the screws in there. Okay, at least that one screw is in. I'm going to start all of the screws before I tighten them all down. And you don't want to tighten these too tight or you'll strip out the plastic. Okay, so there we have it. So now I just need to run the tubing to the side over here and mount it on the edge. Okay, so I've installed this tube here. I cut about this much off, or I cut this exact amount off, and I put the hose clamp on here. I've tightened this down. I didn't use a wrench on it. I did it hand tight. If that leaks, I can tighten it with a wrench, just ever so slightly. And then I'm running this tube through this frame member, and this is a C shape here, so it's sitting inside here. I do need to get some kind of a bracket to clamp on here. And then I ran it around here to here. So I mounted this bracket to this frame. I drilled 2 holes in it and I used these self-tapping sheet metal screws. Then I actually oversized the holes in this bracket because these were kind of binding and I didn't want them to snap. So I drilled these out just a little bit and I tightened those on there. That's what it looks like from the outside. So I do need to hold both parts to unscrew this. So I need to hold the inside. I can unscrew this and I put the hose up there. And then I put the message here talking about how you need to make sure this is open. I have some messages here. I put this one here. It seemed to fit in place. So it did say to open up the black tank to let that caulk cure. So when I'm out of here, I'll pull this open. And like I said, this is new. If you'd use this before, you might want to throw a bucket down there in case some goo comes out. So that's the Camco Tornado waste tank flush. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.